Hello, I'm David Buckland and welcome to this week's Video Insight. Well, the reporting season's just come to an end and Gary Rollo, who's Portfolio Manager of the Montgomery Small Companies Fund, definitely has a smile on his dial. For those that don't know, the Montgomery Small Companies Fund in the 3 months to the end of August has put on well over 11%, whilst the benchmark, the Small Ordinaries Accumulation Index, has put on only about 2%. So Gary, you've had about 9% outperformance in 3 months, and obviously some of those stocks have done some fantastic heavy lifting over the reporting season.
Thanks, David. Well, over the course of the last few months, we've seen portfolio performance driven by a broad-based return in our portfolio. For instance, 2/3 of the portfolio has beaten the market by over 15% in that period. Now, there have been some significant stocks that have done some heavy lifting for us. I'd call out our approach to the growth sectors and the consumer sectors as areas where the portfolio has really won through. But 3 stocks in particular I'd call out would be Megaport, Audinate and Aussie Broadband. Those stocks all have one series of characteristics in common, and that's that their valuations were cheap for the growth that they offered, and the stock market has really began to appreciate that as a result of the results those companies posted through the reporting season.
And why don't we just go into a little bit of detail on those 3 stocks, Gary?
Sure. Well, Megaport's story has been around recovering confidence, investor confidence in management's ability to deliver growth. The first phase of that is to right-size the business and its cost base for the opportunity that it sees in the near term. That job's been done over the course of the last 2 or 3 months, and as a result we've seen significant earnings upgrades for that stock, and we've seen a significant re-rate from a valuation point of view. The second stock that's done some heavy lifting is another growth stock in the portfolio. It's called Audinate. Audinate's a play on, let's call it structural growth in our portfolio, and that stock's been one where we've seen strong growth come through as a result of good operational performance and price rises in the portfolio, but at the same time the company has managed its cost structure very well, and the management team has articulated a good growth outlook whilst at the same time managing costs. So the stock market is cheering that one on. This third stock I'd call out is Aussie Broadband. That's a broadband service provider here in Australia, and that's quite simply just an underappreciated growth story. And the management team have managed costs well, and at the same time have shown good growth characteristics. So that's a very similar theme: manage costs well, deliver the growth, and the stock market was willing to re-rate the stocks.
Excellent, Gary. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 3 stocks, Megaport, Ordinate and Aussie Broadband, that have all contributed to this wonderful outperformance experienced by the Montgomery Small Companies Fund over the recent 3 months. And as I mentioned, they've put on about 11%, and the market benchmark at the same time has put on only about 2%. So, Gary, I know you're coming up for your 4-year anniversary here in a couple of weeks' time, and it's been a very, very exciting ride in the recent several weeks. Well done.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen. Please continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.